Newsflash, go ahead and let y'all know. This is why they be getting y'all in there every month. Y'all, me, us. Because then you see stuff you shouldn't see. Then you see me like, oh, let me get that. So
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from.
what's the deal, pickles? All right, y'all, look. Just finished recording the close of last week. And now I'm recording the beginning of this week. It is Tuesday. And I have my list of to-dos already done because it's Tuesday. And I am in the middle of doing what needs to be done on the to-do list, which are classes. I'm doing those. And I need to record a couple of videos. But really, because y'all, when I tell you I sat down and looked at everything down to the minute of what I need to get done. But there are some big things that I feel like this week, because I really need to get these classes done. And let me explain this class. Because I keep saying these classes, but let me explain it. One of the programs that I use, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about Photoshop because that's this week too. But one of the programs that I use, I realized that of its capacity, I maybe use the equivalent of 5% of what it can do. But I need at least another 45% of what it does right now. And it was kind of like the Photoshop thing that I kept putting it off. And I had the opportunity to attend a detailed class to learn it. And because of working on the challenge book, I realized I need it. One of the things for the challenge book, which started this all, which I'm going to be writing for NaNoWriMo, I'm saying it right now, so I'm going to be writing it in November, is that this is the first book in either a trilogy or, what do they call it? Quad something, like a quad something, because it's the four books. I realized that to make it worthwhile for the reader, as well as the opportunity to plant some seeds for the rest of the book, I had to really look at all of my research, all of the bases that I'm writing for this book, to weave everything together. So what happens is right now I have like probably about 20 to 40 pages of research that I need to organize so that when I'm writing the books, it is clearly accessible. And I'm doing this while writing other stuff, while writing one book, editing another book, you know, you see what I'm saying? And so this week I just said, look, the book that I need to have done is finished. I'm writing on another one that's still in the early stages. And I'm going to take this week and get this class done so that I can use it, and I won't keep having to rework because I don't have time like that. And every time I have to make time like that, I lose, right? I lose because I could be doing something else. So that's why I kind of had to halt and just do it. So once I finish this, I'm on module 3 of 4. My prayer is that tomorrow I will be moving forward and working on the Photoshop, which is another 8 hours. And if I go by this, the way that this has progressed, I'm thinking it'll take me 2.5 days to do the Photoshop, because I can't do it all straight back to back. There's assignments and all this other stuff. So if I do a little, you know, like maybe a couple hours and then work on the assignments, then I can do other stuff like office work, client stuff, emails, meetings, all of that. And then Thursday, I'm totally out in meetings all day. So I will have no time to do anything extra. So that means between Wednesday and Friday, the goal is to have Photoshop finished, that Photoshop class finished. So that's what this week is going to be. I have a feeling, though, because of all of this, that this hat is going to be almost done, because sitting and listening and taking notes and paralleling what I see him doing on the screen and stuff like that is just going to take the next couple of days, and it's just what I gotta do. One of the things about this, it's this thought and this mindset that you're always learning, you're always challenging yourself, and if you're not, you're gonna get bored and it won't last. Well, maybe it's just me, it won't last. So what I have to do is, as I continue to educate myself and to push myself, it also means that you got to take time to sit down and absorb it and then put it into practice. And then once I start putting it into practice, go back and listen to all of the modules again, but it'll be from a place of already using a lot of the tools that I learned, and to sharpen those tools in the process. I honestly think this will be a great tool to also use with client projects, because the same way I build my projects, I have to review and build their projects, and it would just save me so much time of clicking, moving, pull up this document, pull up that document. Y'all, I have this big screen and this other screen, and I'm like, I need to get another screen to be able to lay out all the documents so that they're clearly accessible to do what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And with this, it'll limit a lot of that. It's just, y'all, growing pains. I don't have a song for that one. Do you have a song for growing pains? Because it make me think of no pain, no gain, no pain, no gain. I don't know. Betty Wright? It's gonna come to me later. So anyways, that is what I'm doing. So need unboxing for the new Erin Condren planner. I've already started looking at the calendar and everything for next year. I did that on Monday. I spent about 3 hours working on that, and that went great. Ironing out all the details for the rest of the books for this year. I did that. So it was a lot of stuff that was done that I didn't even just put in the recap. So it feels like nothing was done, but it was. So into this week, about to get to this class, and today will probably, if I get to some of my my quilt, it will be cutting and then sewing up these pieces. That would be really cool. So I will see you all in the next clip. As you sit back, relax, grab your project. Let me know in the comment section what you are working on. How are your holiday gifts coming along? Have you come across some really cool patterns that you're making for gifts? One of the things that I have my eye on, and I don't even know if I'll be able to do it, is I need some fingerless gloves, y'all. I have plenty of fingering weight yarn, but I need some fingerless gloves so when we go run, that my hands are warm, but I can still, you know, work my phone. So that was one thing that I was looking at. So if I finish this week, that'll probably be one of the things. I found a pattern where it was a fingerless gloves with a matching scarf, and I would actually use those while I run. That wouldn't just be, you know, I'd be the flies person out there running. No, because this morning it was like 57 degrees, and so for me that's cold. Somewhere else that's nothing, but for me that was cold. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've kind of been keeping my eye on, and because of the yardage that's listed on there, it makes it seem like it won't take that long. So we'll see. Y'all know me. It could not take a long time, and it takes me forever. or like these hats, like I'm whipping them up in, you know, about a week or less. So yeah, y'all, I don't know why stripes make me feel happy. Isn't that weird? It's just like a little break. Look at that. Now let me move. See, I think I'm gonna cut this. I was gonna just carry it, but since here's the inside. Here it is. I was just gonna carry it, but since I'm gonna change it to the white next, I'm gonna just cut it and weave the rest of it in. So I think I'm gonna do that now. So that is it. I'm going to push play. I need my scissors. I thought I had scissors. Hold on. I'm gonna push play. Oh, I didn't bring them over here because I had no need for them. Push play. Keep going on the class. And I will be checking back with you guys. I thought did I have scissors? I don't have scissors. I need scissors. I need scissors. Yeah, I don't have any scissors up right over here. So I need to cut this, change it to white, another leftover skein, and put 2 rounds of white before switching back. And then I'm gonna keep going. Lord's will, y'all would love to finish both of these modules today, but I really want to get through this one before moving on. So let me get to work. I will be back. Don't forget to let us know in the comment section what you're working on, and I am out. So I am working for a little bit on getting my fabrics together, and I hope you guys can see everything. I am pulling out the background fabric as well as for the 4 patches, and I'm gonna show you. I hope you can see okay. Uh-oh, sorry. Here we go. This is the way that the pattern looks, and so the light areas, I'm going to do this fabric, and then the dark areas I'm going to do this fabric, and I'm hoping it does not clash too much with the African fabrics, and it makes me wonder if I should have just went with plain. So I'm just kind of doing this for a second. Because it's really not going to sit against this, but it'll sit against that. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, let me tilt you just a tad bit so you can see. Yeah, this is like the manual zoom. Move the tripod. So here you go. I am going to, so I'll zoom in a little bit. Can I zoom in a little bit? There we go. This is a cream color. These little, whatever this pattern is it looks like a gray color. But I think it's gonna look okay. I think it will. The only other option that I thought of for a brief second was this yardage that I oh, here's what I have for the border. I wanted something very simple so that the outer of the, either this or a black
just so that the African fabrics will be the focal. The other option that I had for the squares was this, like, I guess this would be considered tiger, but I just felt like this would be way too competing with what I have here. So I'm going to just do what the original plan was, following my original idea. And I just feel like this cream color really plays pretty well. I just hope it looks as good as I think it will in my mind. And so that's it for this clip, I guess. I am now about to go through and cut all of this yardage down to get my squares, and then I will actually be able to start sewing. So I'm gonna get going. Good Friday night. I am almost certain I have not done an update today. Things kind of just went a little bit crazy because I was expecting to be tied up for most of the day, and I wasn't, because things just went a lot faster than I planned, which was great. So that meant that I could come back and just get some work done. So today was a day of I had a lot of posting to complete from yesterday, which was my Thursday post. I had a lot of those to finish up, so I needed to do that. And then I finished all of the cutting for the quilt from the last class, and you probably have already seen footage of it if I don't have to cut it. Yeah, I know I have to cut so much. And so I'm excited about that. The next step is really to start making the 4 patches. So, and I feel like you're crooked. So if we're crooked, we just got to rock with it. What I'm doing right now is actually 8:50. So I'm up here late. After I finished the cutting and I finished all of the tasks that I had on my checklist, then it moved over to working on really getting this plot and this outline done for that prequel for NaNoWriMo, and doing the prep for the series as a whole. So I've been working on that up here. And so yes, and the only thing I really did not do a lot of today that I had in my heart to do but just didn't get to do was to work more on the Photoshop class. But your girl did get it in yesterday. So I didn't get that far. I'm not even gonna front, but I did a lot of it, and I'm pleasantly surprised. The tutorial or the course or whatever is really good. The guy is great, and I'm learning, like, my old knowledge of the old program and the knowledge of the new program are starting to slowly come together. So I'm still at the beginning, but it's my high priority to have it done this weekend. And then this outline, it has got to be done. I'm looking at my calendar, and in a happy, perfect, marvelous world, I'll have it done by Tuesday, just so I can kind of let it sit and rest and marinate for a couple of days before I start writing on it on Friday. And I am going to probably just have a late night and start early, like late Thursday night, early Friday morning, and have a writing day on Friday. But I do have to be very mindful that Harriet comes out on Friday, and I am going to see Harriet next weekend, even if it's on Sunday. So Harriet is going down. So she is all the way. Have you seen the previews? You've had to see the previews because they have been all over YouTube. That movie is going to be amazing. I already know it's going to be amazing. So yeah, it's right here. So with all of that said, it has been an extremely productive week this week, and I'm so surprised because so much of my time was changed in order for me to do these classes. And so I'm gonna see if this weekend I'll be able to kind of recoup some things, get some things done, and you know, have a very positive, I'm claiming a very positive report at the end of the weekend, at the end of this vlog. So don't forget to go to the comment section. Let me know what you're working on. How is your week going, sis? How are you feeling? And I'm about to get out of here, put all this down, and have a, you know, relax the rest of the evening. But it has been a very good and busy day and productive. So I'm ready to just call it a night. I'll see you guys in the next clip. Good Saturday afternoon. It's a little bit afternoon. I just finished all of the running around this morning, and I have quick updates and then just getting into what I plan to do for today. The first thing I want to show, because I can't recall if I've showed it, is the update on the hat. The plan was to kind of do a stair step on the stripes. It's 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4, 5, 6. And I think this is pretty much it on the stripes. I think I'm going to just from here just do the burgundy so that it looks as though it's about equal with the burgundy down here. I probably should count rows, but I'm not. I'm going to just fold it and just gauge it like that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Not like nothing major. So now I can just go around with one skein of yarn, and I still have plenty of it, and still honestly have plenty of the black and the white to put in the next hat. I think the next hat, what I'm gonna do is just knit all of it in a tube and then work whatever hat out with that just to finish them off. So that's the hat. The other thing that I did this morning is I went to pick up the block. I signed up for 2 block a month. Things have been crazy. I haven't did either one. However, what I did do, because I signed up, and you know, attendance and all that stuff is how they keep things going. So I'm just sticking it out with buying the blocks each month. And I wanted for this particular one to get the finishing kit. Let me go grab the picture because I have the full picture to show you. So here is the quilt top. And this has till January, I think. But this is the one that I told you all that kind of had like a catch to it that I didn't know until after we already started. And that is, I'm going to just kind of come up close and show you. So, okay, let's say, for example, this block right here. Right, you see the little basket in the middle, and you see the purple on the outside and all of these little things. Okay, the actual block a month is only the portion in the white, the basket, not the color on the outside. And when we started, I was like, what? Like, what makes this whole top pop are the colors, right? I mean, it's called color box, are the colors, right? So that was kind of a disappointment. And so normally I don't buy finishing kits. I just don't see a need to buy finishing kits when I have so much stuff. But for this one, I bought the finishing kit because once they describe what comes in it, it's like 26 different fabric colors. So it covers the white background, all of the colors on the outside of the block, all of these little squares going on the outside. So I'm just basically stockpiling all of the blocks in their sets, and then this will be just one quilt top that you will follow me along as I do it, because it'll come up once I finish these. But this will be probably, honestly, early 2020, because I want to finish up the ones that I've been working on completely, or finish all the tops and just have them done. So I went to, all of that was to say, I went to the quilt shop. I picked up the most recent block, because it just seems like every time this one meets, I'm out of town. And yeah, so here is the finishing kit. Look at all those fabrics in there. And then the white. This white is really pretty white. And knowing that this white will be the exact same white as all of the other blocks, it's just really cool. But all of these colors, and I'm excited. And yeah, looking forward to it. So I will have this with everything. Oh, and this
why you can't go to this. Why they, let me tell newsflash, go ahead and let y'all know. This is why they be getting y'all in there every month. Y'all, me, us. Because then you see stuff you shouldn't see. And then you see me like, oh, let me get that. So then I was in there. They got me. I was in there and a woman was stopping by to share maybe a sample. I don't know. And I saw it. And I was like, oh. I can clearly see, and I clearly recall me telling you that I need to finish up those African fabrics, and this is what happens. So this is going to be the perfect scrappy finishing. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at that block. See that? So this is called, it says Tiger Lily, but I don't know if that's the brand. No, that's the name of it. Tiger Lily, and it's made by Seems Like a Dream Quilt Designs, where dreamers become quilters. It says fast, fun, and done. A stylish, quick 2.5-inch strip quilt in 2 sizes. The size that the lady had was what was categorized on here as a small. They have a small, and then they have a large. It wasn't bad. It was $6. I'll be working on the Photoshop. Actually going to start on that first. Do the Photoshop for maybe do a few tasks on there for about an hour, take a break, and then work on the Photoshop for a few hours, and then transition into working on the outline until early evening, and then cut off so I could have time to rest and just maybe watch a movie or something with my husband and relax a little bit. So that means I gotta get on it. So I'm off. I'll see you guys on the next update. Y'all, it is Sunday evening. I am still up here. I'm working, and I wanted to come on real quick. We usually do the inspo at the end, but I was cutting and I was calculating and I am sewing, and it really brought back the beginning. You know, if you go back and you look at some of my older videos, I started quilting on this channel. I started knitting on this channel, and if I would have looked at the pattern that I'm working on right now, I probably would have been like, oh no, there is no way that I will be doing pieces so small, you know, just it. That's it. Like, I wouldn't have, like, today, for example, I'm sewing up these 4 patches, and the 4 patches, I think I needed to do like 80 of them. That would have blown my mind. You know, the fact that I have 300 and something of this other piece would have just made it feel so overwhelming. And today it was just like, okay, that's what I'm doing. And I feel like so many of you, well, it's not a lot, but whoever it is, I don't care if it's one. You started on this journey with me. You started on this a new craft, or you decided to try something different. And you know what? Stop for a second and give your do like this for me. Because it takes a lot of courage to do something different, or to do something outside of your comfort zone. And when you're doing something like quilting, it's not cheap, you know, it's an expensive hobby, but it's something that is extremely rewarding to see the works of your hands displayed, and something that's beautiful in the end. So if you're just starting, this is for you. Keep going. You know, you don't have to go out and do this big thing now. baby step your way into it. Nobody's keeping score. There are no quilting police. You know, I'm not ever even the one trying to get it 100% accurate, because y'all know that winging in me is strong. But with every quilt you get better. With every sweater you get better. And even if you don't even want to progress to something bigger, just having the sense of satisfaction at the level that you want is enough. And so I'm about to call it a night. I have a whole stack of 4 patches that I need to sew, but I'm not gonna do them tonight. I think I'm about to call it a night. But I just felt that in me to just stop and say something, because that's, y'all know that that's the heart of this channel, about us doing different things, exploring ourselves, growing, and liking who we're becoming in the process. And I love what I'm making. I mean, even the other day, you know, I showed you guys and I didn't know how they were gonna look together. Look at this. If you have been around a while, you know I was always questionable in my matching and my color schemes, and I still somewhat second guess them. I don't second guess them, but I always doubt a little bit once the fabric starts cutting, because y'all know I see stuff, colors in my head, and then I put them up there, and sometimes it gets a little scary before it smooths out. But I have loved every project that I've done, even the ones where I needed help or had holes or had to patch stuff up. It's just the growing process, and that's life. I think that's the best thing about quilting. It's just like life. You've got to take the next project. You got to keep moving. You can't cry over spilled milk. You got to take either that L, turn that into, turn that into a lesson, and keep the party going. So that's what I'm about to do. I'll see you all in the next clip. Hey you. So we are closing out the week. It is Monday, and I feel like last week was productive. I got a lot of items on my list done. The classes were pretty much done. Still working on the Photoshop class. I think I told you that it was like 80 something segments, and I think I'm on like 30 something. So my goal is just to do a few a day until it's done, because y'all, that's because you got to keep pausing, catch up with them, find where he's at, do the project. And I'm doing all of the projects and not just sitting and watching. I'm going through, doing all of the items, and I actually have the first class project that's finally coming up, but I just did everything as he went along, which has been really good, and I've been using it. So that's another thing that I'm really enjoying about it is learning the hotkeys. Yeah, so when I go in there, it feels good not to be overwhelmed and not knowing where to start. So that's a good sign. That's a great sign. As for my goal of having all right, well, and it's actually carrying over to this week, having the story for the challenge book that I told you guys about. This is actually my printed up version. This is my most recent revision of my outline. I am so close. The one that I had before was good, but what I'm doing now is, as I'm working on the rest of the series, I'm adding little bits and pieces into this. And because I'm using a new technique for this book, I wanted to kind of take my time, and so that I will be ready to start this book on Friday. As for my projects, my quilts, they're going great. You've seen the footage. I got a lot of sewing done yesterday. I found this series that I wanted to finish on Netflix, and so after I worked yesterday on the class, did some client, and I didn't do client stuff. I just did things that I needed to get caught up on, or yeah, whatever. And then I just did sewing so that I could, working on the pieces so that I could finish the series, which was a great series. It was the Hustle and something, I think it was Hustle and Flow on Netflix. I just loved the entire thing. And so today, I have been finishing a book that I was working on. One of the things that I do sometimes is when I find a book that I really like particularly books on craft, I will tend to get the ebook, the audiobook, and the printed book so that I can work on all of them. I'm looking at the wrong spot, y'all, looking at myself. Use them to kind of like have a workshop day. So that's what I had today in between some client calls and conference calls today. So all in all, it has been a full 7 days. I'm really pumped about this series and feeling more confident in my ability to pull it off. And so I'm just gonna keep going. So that's the end of this week. Let me know in the comment section how all of your crafts are going, and tell me what was one of the things that you liked about this video. I've been showing footage of working on the projects, and I think you guys are able to see kind of how things are coming together. But sometimes it's hard when you have like a million pieces and they all look the same, you know, to see progress. But I'm making progress slowly but surely. So I am out. Can your girl get some purple hearts this week? Give me some purple hearts, would make me feel good. And I will see you all in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you've made it this far. What are you waiting on? Go ahead and join the fam, and I will see you guys hopefully sooner than later. Take care. Goodbye.
If I can't have you, I don't want you to have anyone. And if you don't want me, there's something wrong with them, right? Maybe I got problems that I don't tell anyone. Have I lost my perception? Feel like I wanna do something wrong now. Packing all your belongings. Say you wanna take some time, but if you say we'll meet again, why'd you have to take everything now?